Hello and welcome back to another Against the Storm tutorial video. I'm going to go ahead and take us through a brand new campaign because there are some brand new mechanics that they have added into the game. I'm really excited to talk about it, but to do that, we're going to go ahead and change profile. And we're just going to make a brand new profile, and we're going to call it Stream. Very creative, I know. Now, Against the Storm is a roguelite game rather than a roguelike game. It does have procedurally generated levels, it does have the possibility of losing your progress very easily, but it also gives you permanent bonuses over time, as you'll see. But before we jump into the game, I am going to go ahead and click Settings and go down to Skip Tutorial. If you are brand new to this game, I do not suggest hitting this button, but I already have videos on the tutorial villages, which you can find on this very playlist. Okay, let's jump in. So, the first thing you're presented with here is the central city. From here, we'll be able to buy upgrades that will last through future playthroughs. And it will be where deeds, which are basically in-game achievements, which can get you XP and other rewards, will live. But we don't even get those until we get to level 2. So our primary question now is, where do we want to make our village? Now, there are special hexes out here that give you extra bonus materials. In this case, artifacts, which is one of 2 materials that you need to make your way up the upgrade tree. These question marks represent that there is something special out there, but you don't know what it is because it's in the fog of war. Levitating monument. The power of a nearby monument makes everything feel lighter. You can move most buildings in your settlement. Well, that sounds like a positive thing, so let's go ahead and settle right next to there. Now again, we're presented with a bunch of choices. We can either take 6 of these lizard people, or 3 of these beaver people. And 3 of these beaver people, sorry. Or we can take 9 lizards, and then we're presented with all of these resources that we're going to start with. Also including 2 new villagers, which is usually my default. I almost always choose the one that gives bonus people, because having a higher population right at the beginning is really nice. Under the Summary tab, it tells us what it is that we are looking at. We need 14 reputation to win, we need 14 impatience to lose. If we do this on normal difficulty, we will get 14 food, 2 artifacts, and 35 experience, all of which will help us proceed up the upgrade trees. Under Modifiers, you can see that during these seasonal conditions, there will be 3 positive and 2 negative, because we're on normal difficulty. Additionally, we have that levitating monument effect that we already talked about, and Gift of the Woodlands, which means the trees will give more wood. So this should be a nice, easy place to start. Now over here on the right, you get to choose up to 3, and this number can go up or down depending on circumstances. Embark points to spend on bonus resources that you can take along with you. So for us, we're going to take 30 wood, 20 roots, 20 eggs, and we're going to go ahead and get going. So let's take a look at our forest mysteries. Always a good idea to take a glance at these. Warm Welcome increases reputation gain from resolve by 100% only during the drizzle, and it looks like only with hostility 0. Heavy Drops, +5 to Spark Dew production. This is good. It means that if I can make a Spark Dew collector, which I don't think we start with at level 1, it would be more effective. Euphoric Vapors. Let's see. Villagers with this effect are in a good mood. To gain it, you need complex food, which we will again talk about later. Complex food means you can both feed your people and make them happy at the same time. So we almost always start with at least 2 resources nearby. In this case, we've got eggs, and we've got clay. We also get to pick 3 blueprints, which we will do in a little bit, but first. Now, it's interesting because, of course, when I go to record this, the eggs are in the way. Normally, I make a rectangle around the entire monument with a strip here that is clear. And of course, while I'm recording, a bunch of eggs get in the way. It's fine. Connect there. I got this particular shape as well as a lot of the setup tips from One Silver Key, my partner. So now, let's take a look at what we can build. We've got roads, we've got camps. I always start with at least 2 woodcutter camps, and I want to get myself in a position to cut through to one of these glades pretty quickly. I'm going to use this green axe here to mark which trees I want to cut down, and I want to make a more or less direct route to this glade, because more resources will be there. I think we'll do the same thing. Wow, a lot of these glades are really far away. Okay, I think we'll do the same thing over in this direction. You'll notice, by the way, that I spend a lot of time pre-building before I even hit the start button. That is intentional. Now I'm picking up 4 shelters, which I will try to arrange in a square if I have the space. Okay. So I'm going to rotate this with R so that the square on top ends up meeting in the middle. Rotate, rotate. Throw some paths in there. And then finally, I like to set down right away the crude workstation and a makeshift post right next to each other. Now at this point, I have a couple of decisions to make. Do I want to mine the rock right away, or do I want to start getting the eggs? Well, I started with plenty of food, right? I picked up 3 food with my embark bonuses, so I'm not too worried about these eggs just now. So I think what I'm going to do is extend this path and make a stonecutter camp so we can start picking up some clay. Now we're almost done, but there is one more small little step that you can take right away, and that is setting up some kind of decorations. I like to set 8 benches in this little area here, and that will be enough to get me to my first level up for this hearth once my population is high enough. I think everything's set. I also want to mark these trees. This skull here means that it is a dangerous glade. I don't want to cut all the way into it yet, but I do want to sort of start clearing out the area around it. Now, this little symbol just means that the material that's used to build the building, in this case wood, is not available just now. Fortunately, we can change that pretty quickly. Now, each species has things that they're really good at and things that they really love doing. They are different things. These beavers just happen to be really good at wood cutting, and you can tell by this symbol around it. So I'm going to set 3 beavers to cut towards this area. And just, actually, I'm going to go 2 and 2. You don't always need to fill things up all the way right at the beginning. Now, this icon comes up. You do want to pay close attention to this upper right corner. And this gives me the possibility of picking a cornerstone. Crowded Caravan gives me an additional 2 villagers for each newcomer group, which you get every year after the storm. And Value Added Tax gains me 2 amber, which is kind of a trade currency, for every 6 packs of trade goods that I produce. I don't plan on producing a lot of trade goods in this very early run, so I'm going to go with Crowded Caravan, which is going to give me more workers quicker. Notice that I still have not picked a blueprint. I am waiting until I know what my resources are going to be from that new area before I choose. Now, once again, we have some activity up here. We have these orders, which are basically quests. If I have at least 6 humans for 30 seconds, I get a small farm blueprint, a bonus to mushroom gathering, 20 mushrooms, and 1 reputation point. How many humans do I have now? Just 1. Okay, so I'd have to work to get there. It's not a bad idea. The other one, again, is involving trade. I do rely heavily on on trade on later levels, but early on, I'm going to go for the humans here. Wood delivery, pick up 35 wood and get 3 parts and 2 people. Love it. And finally, 35 paths give me a bonus to moving on roads, which is nice, and some stone. If I make 10 planks, then it'll give me 5 of each of these basic building materials. Both of these are very good. I'm going to go with basic logistics, which I've already finished. So I hit deliver. Now I have 4 blueprints to choose from. Or to choose. And now that I always wait until I get my first orders before I cut into a glade, because you never know, you might get an order to do exactly that, and you wouldn't want to waste it. I am going to dig a very thin path to that glade because I want to get it open as soon as possible. In the meantime, my workshop and my post here are going to go up. Now, they don't just grab the resource and go back here. They do that for a little while, and if you... Oh, I can't see the middle yet. Okay. Later on, you'll be able to see exactly how many things are here. Also, I want to call your attention to these 2 settings here. Cut only marked trees, and a new one, which I had not seen before, avoid opening glades. So that would allow me to mark trees right up to the glade, without risking going into the glade. I like that. That's a new piece of UI. I tend to let them chop where they want when they're done. Now they're chopping this tree because they can't actually reach the ones I've marked. There we go. If you don't mark anything, they will sort of start with the closest trees first and rotate out. Same deal if you mark everything around them. They'll start in the center and kind of radiate out. Working on getting enough wood for my wood delivery. And in fact, since I have that, it's probably a good plan for me to put more into here. And also, because I'm very silly, I never put anyone into my stonecutter's camp. It's okay to have a couple of folks who don't have jobs, because that means if you go to build something, they'll be able to get on it immediately. But also, not good to leave too many folks idle for too long. Okay, what do we have here? We've got meat, leather. As you can see, every time I collect from here, I get a meat and a 40% chance of a leather. And more clay, which is also fairly nice. Wood delivery is ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and turn that in. 2 newcomers, 3 parts. And now I think it's about time we get started on our buildings. Now we've got enough materials here to make a bunch of bricks, and we've got a lot of eggs and a little bit of meat. So we're going to keep that in mind as we check these blueprints. Okay, so the clothier is really nice. Coats make both beavers and humans happy. And in fact, before we do this, let's take a look at that. Each one of these villagers has a resolve. It's better when it goes up. If it goes to 0 or negative, villagers will start to leave your camp. This little blue line, once you cross that little blue line, your reputation bar will start going up on its own at a slow and steady pace. These symbols mean that there is 1 human 6 beavers, 6 lizards in my camp. One of them is unemployed, as in doesn't have a job currently, and 0 of them have no shelter. So we do have 1 beaver who does not have a shelter, which we need to fix right now. So I'm going to drop down another shelter there, and as soon as they can, they will get to it. If you expand these, you can see all the things that make your little villagers happy. Humans like eating jerky. It gives them up to +4 resolve. Biscuits give up to +5 resolve. Same with pie. So each species has 2 or 3 special foods that it prefers. Human housing is a specific human home that you'll get later. I get +3 because all of my humans have shelter. I can get up to +8 with religion, up to +8 with leisure, and up to +5 with clothing. So same thing for beavers, except it's biscuits, pickled goods, specific beaver houses, clothing, housing, luxury, education, and leisure. So both humans and lizards like jerky, pie. Pickled goods is shared between the beavers and the lizards. Skewers, so they have 4 specific foods that they like. Again, shelter. Bloodthirst, which is something that you can get by giving them time to train, basically. Religion, and of course, lizard housing. So the more of these you fulfill, the higher this is going to go, and the faster you're going to win. So we're going to go ahead and say, well, water skins are necessary to make things like ale, but so is pottery, and biscuits and pie are both very useful. I'm going to pick the bakery. Now, all of these require specifically fertile ground, which is marked by a little bit of grass, to use. I haven't seen any of that yet, but because the small farm gets grain, I'm going to pick that because grain can be turned into flour, which can be turned into biscuits and pie. Now I just need a way to get the flour from the grain, and I will have that whole chain set to go. Unfortunately, none of these give it to me. But being able to produce ale is something that humans enjoy, and it can be used to give leisure later. Then again, cheaper planks. These stars represent how efficient, how good the place is at making these planks. I have a workshop that can make planks for me, but the carpenter can do it better, and simple tools is always nice. I think I'm going to go with the carpenter. Brickyard, definitely. I have a lot of clay ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And the provisioner can give me flour, which means I've got the whole chain up to biscuits and pies. Now I just need to get there. Also, eggs are useful for pies, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to farms. Scavenger gets eggs and roots. We're going to go ahead and start gathering. I've got, looks like 4 people total who need a job, so this is actually perfect. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Ancient Hearth. This is sort of your main home base, and you are constantly sacrificing fuel to it, in this case wood and coal, to keep it going. If it goes out, your resolve will plummet immediately. You also have the ability to sacrifice things to it. And if I do that, you'll see the resolve go up pretty quick, although it's not right now for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working this time. That maybe is a mechanic that I'm not aware of. I'll figure it out eventually. Now we're about to hit our first storm. I think we're doing just fine so far. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to put our last 2 people into the workstation, and we're going to start making bricks and planks. Got nothing to make fabric with. I'm going to set a limit of 20 planks and no limit on bricks. I don't want to use up all of my wood on planks because I need it for the fire. Now they're just cutting down the trees around them, which I'm okay with. Resolve tends to go down, as you can see, in the storm. Some storms can get really bad. And with that, the storm has passed. We're back to the drizzle in year 2, and we have both a new set of cornerstones to choose from and a new set of villagers to choose from. Let's see. Queen's Gift. Gain plus 50 to the Ancient Hearth's resistance for every impatience point you have. Or Crowded Houses. All houses have one more place. I like that one because I like keeping all of my people sheltered. Now, we need a lot of humans, so even though I like the idea of grabbing pottery early, I need the 2 humans to fulfill this order. And now I have more people. With more people means that I can work more camps and such. But before I do that, we're going to cut our way into our first dangerous glade. Again, quick tip. If you make a very skinny path, it will get chopped down very quickly, and you can always move your woodcutter closer so that it takes less time to go to and from the trees. Now, the makeshift post makes things like packs of crops and packs of provisions. I'm not making any of those right now, so it's going to stay empty for a bit. Now, this alert tells me that my Stonecutter's camp doesn't have any deposits, and this is why I didn't make a second Stonecutter's camp, because I knew I could just move this one over to here. Anytime you start to get a little bit far away from your main storage, it's always a good idea to think about dropping a storage facility. That said, it does require fabric, which I don't have, but that's okay. And we'll make a path going out there. Now I'm going to keep an eye on this because I want to see what it is right at the moment that they cut through. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, this is a very nice bounty. So we've got these plants, which as you can see give us fiber, which we can turn into cloth. We do need cloth. It also gives us clay and insects. And I can tell that I can gather this because when it says gathered via harvester's camp, that color is blue. It would be, I believe, a brown color if I couldn't harvest it. I have fertile soil, which means I can build a farm over here. And I've got a bunch of meat and a bunch of berries. Now, as you can see, I can't gather the berries because the herbalist camp is not something that I've got. Now, this Totem of Denial. Anytime you have one of these dangerous events, you've got some kind of countdown and some kind of consequence. So in 10 minutes, heavy clouds are gathering around the sacrifice totem, storm duration is increased by 100%, drizzle and clearance are decreased by 50%. Nobody wants that. And you gain an impatience point. And here's the thing, if it goes to 0, that doesn't end it. It will just reset the 10-minute timer, and it'll happen again. So I need some sort of goods to solve this problem. I happen to have enough resin. It's always a risk cutting into these dangerous glades very early, because what if what you need isn't something that you have? Fortunately, we have the resin. It will take 3 minutes and 30 seconds after the resin is brought to solve this. Or I can add a second person, which I will, to make it 2.5 minutes instead. Now, once I solve it, I either get to convert the Totem of Denial, which gives me a global resolve bonus, very nice, or I get 30 crystallized dew, which I can use to make lots of things, 40 sea marrow, which are fuel that I can burn, and 35 pottery, which I can use to make ale and wine and that sort of thing. They're both very tempting, but given just how much stuff they're giving me here, I'm going to go with salvage. Now, while I'm working this, there is an effect happening here. Fishmen hate fire and will do anything in their power to extinguish every last flame in the world. Blocks the ability to sacrifice goods in the hearth. So I am no longer able to make my people happier by sacrificing, as you can see, anything in my hearth. Now, opening up a very large outside area like this makes me have to really pause and think about what I'm doing next. I definitely want to extend my path. And I'm wondering if there's space for me to put a secondary hearth. There is. I love it. So I'm actually not going to set this here. I'm actually going to go all the way up to here and there. So we've got a secondary hearth. Now, I don't have the camp to get the meat yet, but I do have the camp to get this fiber. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a harvester's camp right here. And as I just said, anytime you get far enough away from the central storage, you want to save yourself some time by dropping a storage shed. Once we start getting some cloth going, we'll be able to build both of those and it'll be fine. Speaking of which, I'm going to go back to my workshop, start letting them make fabric. As you can see, we've got some more orders here. We can either make 8 luxury goods or 10 trade goods and 10 provisions. I'm not really interested in either of these, so I'm going to go ahead and pick advanced trading, and we'll see if I get there. Cut through to discover one dangerous glade. That would have been nice to have before, but we're going to go ahead and take it. Unless, what's our human's resolve? Our human's resolve is already 21. It shouldn't be that difficult to push it up to 24. So actually, I think that taking happy humans to give me 30 pies, 2 more humans coming with each group of newcomers, and bonus clothes when I make clothes. I'm going to do that. In fact, no, I'm still working the totem, so I can't actually sacrifice anything yet. 2 minutes, it's fine. When you set a makeshift hearth, make sure you set a firekeeper. If you want them to build something faster, you can increase the priority from 0 to 5, and that will tell them what order to build in. I have 5 planks and 4 bricks. That's good. Drop a couple harvesters in there. We're going to start to pick up some fiber. That fiber will go to the workstation where it will get turned into fabric, and then we will be able to start building our storage units. In the meantime, just going to drop one more shelter, because I know I've got more people coming as soon as the next storm passes. And in fact, I currently have more than enough population to upgrade my Ancient Hearth one more time. It upgraded automatically, because of the benches I put down, but if I put down 4 more aesthetic decorations, it will level up again. So let's go ahead and do that. I like these flower beds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Storage is going up, so this fiber going back and forth is going to be a whole lot faster. I think it's about time for us to start cutting into another glade. And I'm going to play it safe this time, cut into this one up here. And I'm going to test this out. If you hit avoid opening glades, but you also highlight all the way to the end, will it still work? We will find out. Got our second storage up, and our production is coming along nicely. Gonna drop a provisioner right here. Don't have the cloth for it yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. We have one person without a job, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to keep making paths. That jobless person will be good for just sort of making some paths, making sure that we can get everywhere we need to go nice and quick. And we're into the storm. Okay, year 3. Let's pick a new cornerstone. For every 10 pie produced, gain 5 jerky. Well, if I take a look at my bakery, which I have not set down yet, but I now can. The bakery can make pie, so I think that's probably the way to go. I am going to start trying to crank out pie. Getting jerky at the same time means that all 3 of them will benefit, so that's fantastic. I'm going with that. People, I need so many humans. I'm getting so many humans. I now have 8 out of 6 needed, so I can immediately go... Oh, I need to keep it there for 30 seconds. Fine. You no longer have any stone. And as I'm going around, I don't see any more. So I think what we're going to do, and it does seem to be working, I am now going to allow them to open that glade. I'm going to go ahead and sell this building off. And I think I want to start cranking out food. So I'm going to move my other woodcutter out here. Start to cut my way towards that clearing, but also I want to clear out all this farmland so that I can, you know, farm it. Provisioner is coming online. And here is our new glade. We get ourselves more fertile ground, which is nice, so food's not going to be an issue this run. And we have this small abandoned cache that we can open with either simple tools or infused tools. Every single cache in the game is opened with these tools, so they are obviously a very important resource if you want to do an exploration heavy run. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and get all of that cleared out. We're going to make a path out there. Help from the Queen is done, so we'll go ahead and pick up the small farm blueprint just in time. Although I think I already had it from buying it, so that's a bit of a waste. I also get to pick a new building. Kiln produces coal, which is really nice. Jerky is also nice, even though we should theoretically be getting some by making pies. Plantation I don't need because I've got the small farm and I don't really have any need for berries or plant fiber at the moment. Although, plant fiber is always good to make clothes. I think I am going to go with the kiln. Might have been a mistake, might have been better to go smokehouse, but I went kiln. I tend to keep all of my buildings, like my production buildings, all in one spot, so that I don't have to go hunting for them. But you don't have to go hunting for them. You can, in the very upper right here, click this recipes panel, and you can find all the things you're capable of making. For example, I can make flour at the provisioner. It takes either 8 mushrooms, 8 roots, or 8 grain. I don't want to start making out of mushrooms, though, because I don't want to run low on food. I'll wait until my farms are online. Speaking of my farms, we're going to make farm fields out of all of that nice land. And all of this nice land. And we will build a small farm so that it covers all of the visible grass. As you can see, I tend to favor pausing when I move things around, but you don't have to. You can always just set it down to a lower speed. Or not. Just play it at ×3 and do whatever you like. I just like to have the time to stop and think. Okay, so this takes 10 wood and turns it into 5 coal, and I've got plenty. It also makes bricks, but still only at 1 efficiency, so not a big deal. It also makes jerky, but at a much lower rate. I definitely think I chose the correct one. So I'm definitely going to make coal. Now, this blue aura means that this lizard really likes working here. Lizards specifically like working in warm places like kilns. They love being the firekeeper. They love being in a bakery, anything that's nice and warm. So I'm going to have that one making coal. And I don't really need to set a limit on that. And in fact, let's go ahead and make more than one. We'll put 2 in there. Now the bakery really needs flour before I can get anything going. And for flour, yeah, I need grain. Got new orders. 6 provisions or 30 clothing. I think I'm gonna go for clothing. Might not have been the best idea. Pack of building materials or ancient tablet or 2 ancient tablets and discover 2 glades. I'm definitely gonna discover 2 glades, but ancient tablets are not super common. You usually get them in caches. I think I'm going to go with this one, although I don't really expect to finish it. Is this still not working? Oh, I see. Okay, pause really quick. There is a new game mechanic. Watch closely. When I sacrifice stuff, the hostility goes down. It's no longer bringing up my resolve, it's now lowering my hostility. Interesting. Is it the same if I sacrifice sea marrow? Sea marrow gives bonus working speed by 25% when doing glade events. So sacrificing sea marrow means that that'll go faster. Global production speed increase on oil, and bonus reduced hostility for sacrificing coal. Okay, so this changes everything, because it used to be, to end a game, I would just sacrifice everything that I could to push their resolve up and get my reputation, and that is no longer a viable strategy as of this current update. I do have a couple of people who have no homes, so I'm going to make another couple of shelters. I will need a service building before I can upgrade my hearth again, and my harvester's camp doesn't have anything near it. But that's okay because I now need people for farms. You'll notice I haven't put anybody in my farms yet. That's because the clearance is when they harvest, so if I put anyone in there now, it wouldn't do anything. I will put them in there for the storm, though, because they will be fertilizing the fields during that time. Speaking of which, we're going to move this camp out of the way because I want to put my farm down over here as well. I still want to make my way into this glade, but the farm is more important. In fact, the farm is very important. It's okay to have buildings that don't have folks in them. Okay, so the middle tab here tells you that they're currently delivering. It would also tell you what it is that they have in storage. Right now, they don't have anything in storage because the delivery is in progress. They deliver it to the main storage, and then I get my planks, and then I get my farm. Now, we're about to hit the storm. Oh, right. Hit the path. Come on, Cunningham. You know what you're doing. And I am now going to assign humans specifically, because humans are specifically good at farming. And in the other one. And when I say good at, I mean that there is a chance they will get a double harvest every time they pick something. Now, the harvester's camp still doesn't have anyone nearby. I'm just going to take the people out of it. There are roots over here. And that's it. I definitely need to be cutting into more glades. So I'm going to move this woodcutter camp over here. We're going to start cutting towards this dangerous glade over here. But we are going to avoid opening glades, because I don't want to get in there on accident. Oh, how lucky. This scavenger camp can be moved over to take advantage of these roots. Excellent. Just in time for the storm. We do have some unemployed folks. Let's build some things. I don't really need a brickyard, although it does make them more efficiently, so why not? Carpenter will make me tools that I can use to open caches. So if I can get both of those rolling, I'll be pretty good. As you can see, these little folks are harvesting. Ogden Sandhurst here is working hard. The storm ends, we choose a cornerstone. Biscuit diet is a good one. I do have farmers and I do plan on making biscuits, so there's a 50% chance of double yield when under the effect of biscuits. This does stack with the bonus that humans already get, so I'm probably going to choose that. More people. Could definitely use more fabric and planks, so I'm going to grab that. We're going to make sure all of these wood cutter camps have beavers in them. And we've got plenty of workers now for our new buildings. Now that we're in the drizzle, though, I want to cut more or less directly into this dangerous glade. Now, during the drizzle, the humans are planting. During the clearance, they are harvesting. So once the clearance happens, I don't really have a lot to make. Oh, but I can stop you from making bricks and start letting you make the bricks instead. I have plenty of bricks, though, so we're going to focus on pottery for a little while. We're going to set this to grain, because we are going to end up getting a lot of grain at some point. I'm going to set, again, lizards love being in warm places. And I will start making biscuits and pie just as soon as I get... So my assembly line is all set up. The moment they start bringing in grain, that grain will be turned to flour. That flour will be turned into biscuits and pies. Which turns into bonus resolve. I am currently low on food, though. Well, let's see what this turns up. Because I won't be low on food long, because I'm about to get a whole bunch of food in from the farms. We've got sea marrow, which is a burnable that is gathered with the woodcutter. Or not the woodcutter, the stonecutter. Did I yeet that stonecutter camp? I think I did. No worries. It's food that I'm worried about right now anyway. Simple tools. And in fact, I want to make simple tools very quickly so I can start gathering these caches. I can't seem to get through, so I'm going to have them cut that tree first. Now, if you're paying close attention and you know this game, you'll note that I have not made a trading post, which is actually normally a big blunder. However, in this particular map, I've decided to go without trading completely. I will add that particular complexity into the next video. Alright, what's in there? Oh, right, I still have Avoid Opening Glades picked. Always remember to double check what your options are. Because now we're coming up through, partway through the clearance, and it's becoming a dangerous time for me to break into here. Okay, so we have a cookhouse, which can be rebuilt or salvaged. I'll probably salvage it because skewers and pickled goods will raise my resolve quite a bit. We have Fallen Beaver Traders. It spawns living matter, which is bad and creates corruption. While I'm working it, all beavers will be at -6 resolve. They're currently at 13, so I'm not too worried about that. I can either loot the bodies for clothes, fiber, and parts, or I can send it to the Citadel for amber and reputation. I'm going to loot the bodies. It'll take 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This will take planks and bricks. And as I keep saying over and over and over again, once you start getting far away from your storage, it's time to make another storage. You all start working towards that glade. Now, I'm starting to get some homeless folks again. I'm going to make my next shelters out here by this hearth, because I want to start upgrading it as well. New orders. 4 glades, easy peasy. You can rebuild or salvage a building. I can do that. I'm in the middle of doing that now, and then I could make 10 packs of provisions just for this. I'm going to pick that one. Jerky, pie, and skewers. I do plan on having a lot of all of them. That would give me 60 biscuits. Wow. That said, wooden provisions is a little... If I'm already going to be making provisions, I may as well grab this one. I can actually already deliver that. Have I been making provisions without realizing it? I have. No worries. It's good because it means that I already got this done. Good job past me. Trapper camp. I'm gonna look at the other stuff, but I have meat ready to go. This is excellent news. This is especially excellent news for my food. Because I have over here not only a bunch of eggs, but also, where are they? One of these clearings, yes, there you are, has just a ton of meat. We're going to set you down right next to that. Still low on food, but that's not going to be an issue for too much longer. And in fact, I can start making jerky in the kiln as I start picking up meat. Although I'm not going to do that yet because I think amount of food is the issue right now. I'm definitely making flour. That's good. That process has started. Lizards are good at trapping. I now have enough simple tools to break this open. I can either get 15 fabric and 15 clay, or 0.5 and 10 amber. Since I'm not trading, I'm not really interested in the amber. I'm keeping them. And we are back to the drizzle. Now I still need, what's it? 12 packs of building materials, but more importantly, 6 packs of provisions to get these ruins done. So let's go ahead and see if I can be making provisions. Not really. I'm going to make them out of eggs. And I'm going to set, I think, another trapper camp over here where all these eggs are. Also, no sense in not putting a farm, or putting at least farmland up here. I might wait and see if I get another farm option, and even more fertile soil. Okay, so again, food should not be an issue. Grain production is increased by +1 every 25 times it's produced. Absolutely. I have so many farms going on, and I'm about to have another one now that that's happened. And also, wow, we get a lot of people. I definitely want this grain. Now, let's take a look really quick at our resolve. Because I have pickles, which I got from one of the events, that's giving me, looks like, +3 resolve. The biscuits are giving +3 as well. These skewers are giving me +5. The pickled goods are giving me another +3 for the lizards. And as you can see, the lizards are now so happy that they're giving me reputation. It's crawling up very slowly. I am going to set myself a maximum amount of provisions, though. I'm going to say 15 provisions most. Human resolve is going up. I wonder if there's any way I can push it over the line. What I'm going to do with the humans is I'm going to hit this lighter treatment button. What it does is it boosts that species by 5 and decreases all the other species by 5, just to give me that enough bonus so that I can get this happy humans order finished. Three, 2, 1, and 0, done. 30 pies, bonus coats, love it. Now that I'm producing meat, the smokehouse is probably the way to go, because it makes jerky very, very efficiently, and I've got a lot of people to feed. Oh, and now that that's done, I'm going to unfavor the humans so that everyone's back on an even playing field. Don't really need that crude workstation anymore because I've got plenty of all three. Not really interested in making pottery, and I don't actually need that many of them. We'll put 2 in there. Now, at any time, I can click on this, and I can click on one of these, and I can see all of these. So I definitely have more I could be doing here. I do have enough simple tools for this abandoned cache, so we're going to go ahead and crack that open. 2 ancient tablets. See, I should have taken that one back then. Oh well, no big. Planting. Where are my woodcutters currently? One's right there. One's over here. I think it's about time for another glade. We've got this dangerous one over here. But first, I'm gonna hit this dangerous one like at the beginning of the next year. But we're gonna move and clear out this farmland a little bit. There we go. I want to produce as much grain as possible to get as much benefit as possible from both biscuit diet and the bonus grain production. Harvester camp still doesn't have anything to grab, unfortunately. Scavenger's camp also has nothing nearby. Okay. Well, I can move that to help out with these eggs or these roots or both. Let's go ahead and just do the roots and like 1 egg. That's fine. In fact, I can go ahead and set it to not collect eggs at all so that they only focus on these roots. I do still have enough simple tools. But then we're going to start cutting our way into this dangerous glade. We're almost at the end of the clearance, so I don't mind sending them there a little bit early. Yeah, you aren't really needed there anymore. I think more food gathering is probably better for me at this point. So let's see, where can I go? I definitely think cutting into a new glade is the way to go. I'm already cutting into one dangerous glade, so I'm going to cut into this less dangerous glade right now. Provisioner can go ahead and stop making provisions, though I definitely want to keep making flour. My clothing has gone up. Oh, and ruins got completed. Very nice. So we're going to get some tools, we're going to get the ability to carry more items at events, and some barrels, which we can use to make ale or wine. And in fact, okay. So in order for people to drink ale, you need another building, the tavern, which I don't think I have. I think what I'm going to do is make the clothier start making coats for people, and that should bring up everyone's resolve, except for the lizards who are, I think, naked. They're not actually naked. I can see them wearing little hats, but whatever. And I do have plenty of cloth at this point, so I can start making lots of those. Okay, into the storm. Last time I said no to this, I ended up regretting it, so I'm picking it this time. This one's more likely. In fact, all I need is pie. Well, I guess I need skewers too. Never mind. More bone marrow. Okay, well, it's more fuel, but let's go ahead and grab it anyway, because we've got plenty of people. And we've got plenty of parts. So we're going to make a stonecutter's camp. We're going to send it right out here. Pretty far away, but that's okay. It's not like we're really hurting for fuel. And in fact, there's another one right over here. I'll wait until this one's empty and then move it over there. That said, a path is probably a really good plan. I don't have blight extractors yet, so I'm going to go with letters to the Citadel. Can I make a blight extractor? I can't even make one yet. Okay. Okay, now we're in the drizzle. I need to make sure I'm actually going into these glades. So I'm going to narrow my focus. And I'm going to unset avoid opening glades. I should be able to get in here nice and quick. I have clothing the people done. So we'll grab that reward. Okay, we've got 2 large abandoned caches, and we do, in fact, have plenty of tools for both. We found more bone marrow, and we have... Okay, what this is living matter. After 8 minutes, it's going to make everyone sick, -3 to global resolve, and it will multiply, creating new clusters. When I work it, my food is going to start going away, so I'm going to have to be cognizant of that, but I'm pretty sure I can do this pretty quick. And I've got a lot of people unemployed right now. The rewards I don't get to choose. Now, I feel like I should be sprinting towards the end of the game because this has been a pretty long video already. So we're going to go ahead and set everyone to sending to the Citadel, giving me this reputation. Same deal up here. Large caches give you a full reputation.
Yeah, Ekido.
That'll get me that much closer to winning the game. I also now have another source of fiber out here. So, as I said before, city buildings, storage. We're definitely going to want that out here. In fact, I probably should have built that already. We're going to build a bunch of paths getting out there. Or a path getting out there. And I think I have a harvester's camp somewhere that I abandoned. Let's see. No, that's a workstation. There it is. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but there is, when I picked up that harvester's camp, it puts an arrow up here showing me where there's deposits. I love it. That's great. It's another quality of life upgrade that they didn't used to have. So I'm going to put this all the way up here. And it's going to start harvesting that.
Yeah.
Another stonecutter camp wouldn't go amiss. In fact, since I am working on 2 abandoned caches at once, I might just go over here. Start sacrificing some of my sea marrow, which should make this go even faster. I have 3 events going on at once. Okay, finish that up. Now they just need to get all the stuff back. About to finish that. About to finish that. Okay, okay, okay. We're doing great. Okay, we can build the tavern. Very nice. We can build the brewery and the tavern. Okay. Well, that sucks, but I think, can I make ale elsewhere? Let's check the recipes. Do I have anywhere I can make ale from? I don't. That is super annoying. So I have a choice, either be able to make beer or serve beer. Do I already have any? I don't. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna choose make beer, because that makes humans happy anyway. Set that down, get it built. We've got a bunch of homeless folks, which has probably been an issue for a while now. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of stuff. There's a lot of things to keep in mind here. We are going to go ahead and build some more shelters. There we go. Now we do need to get one more glade in order to finish up that task. Do we have one that's nice and easy and quick? We've got this dangerous one down here that's nice and easy and quick. This one here is a forbidden glade. It's even more dangerous, but it also has even better rewards. Ah, no, there's a nice one right over here. There we go. We'll go ahead and make some decorations. We'll do some barrels. Because we've got the people, we just need to start making the decorations. There we go. No more homeless folks. And we've increased our neighborhood here. No. Let's stop making coal. I think we're okay there. We'll put another person into the bakery. We've got some berries now, so we can make biscuits with that. We've got plenty of flour. We do have eggs coming in, so we can keep making pies. And then, let's see. We can now make ale. We've got plenty of grain, we've got plenty of pottery. And it should already be going. So I'm going to put a couple of humans in there, because again, humans like making booze. And they'll start cranking it out. We now have 4 glades, so we can turn in this order. This order. Ancient Artifact, +3 to Global Resolve. Very useful. And we got the tavern. Okay, okay. We are rolling, friends. We make the tavern. That beer will turn into leisure. That leisure will turn into resolve, specifically for the humans and the beavers. And with 3 of them, with 3 people in here, I get Gleeman's Tales, which gives me again +3 to global resolve.
Yeah.
Actually, this being a bar, let's have 1 of each on staff. And that is really catapulting my resolve up. And you'll begin to see this leisure bar fill up as well pretty quick. I think we are very close to the end game, friends. As you can see, leisure is beginning to go up for them, so is clothing, and all 3 of my species are doing very well, which is going to lead to me filling up my reputation bar, and that is the game, friends. We gained 35 experience points, 14 food stockpiles, 2 artifacts. Back to the world map. So now that we're back on the world map, I can go back to the city. And if I was level 2 yet, I could start buying upgrades. But you do need to be level 2 to buy upgrades. So that's where we're going to end our video today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time for another Against the Storm video.